Chapter 49 of the Tao Te Ching, pronounced Tao Te Ching, roughly the Book of the Way and its power, turns toward a question about presence, about what it means to hold authority without hardening into a position. The question it raises is deceptively simple. What does a person without fixed opinions actually look like? The original in classical Chinese, Shèng Rain Wu Chang Zin, Yi Bai Xing Zin Wei Zin, Shan Ji Wu Shan Jai, Bu Shan Ji Wu Shan Jai, De Shan, Zin Ji Wu Zin Jai, Bu Zin Ji Wu Yi Zin Jai, De Zin, Sheng Rain Zi Chen Zia Zai Zai Wei Chen Zia Han Kai Zin, Bai Xing Jai Zhu Kai Mu, Shen Rain Jai Hai Jai. A translation in English. The sage has no fixed mind of their own. They take the mind of the people as their mind. To those who are good, I respond with goodness. To those who are not good, I also respond with goodness. This is virtue as goodness. To those who are trustworthy, I respond with trust. To those who are not trustworthy, I also respond with trust. This is virtue as trust. The sage, present in the world, draws inward, blending their mind into the world's. The people turn their eyes and ears toward the sage. The sage regards them all as children. The first line is the hinge. The sage has no fixed mind of their own. This isn't passivity or emptiness for its own sake. It's something more specific. The sage does not arrive at each situation with a preformed verdict. The word here, changzin, means a habitual or fixed heart-mind. In classical Chinese thought, the heart and the mind are not separate. Zin is both. To have no fixed zin is to not be trapped inside your own accumulated conclusions. What fills that space? The Bai Xing, literally the 100 surnames, meaning ordinary people, everyone. The sage's mind takes shape from theirs. Then comes the passage's most challenging move. Whether someone is good or not good, I meet them with goodness. Whether someone is trustworthy or not, I extend trust. This sounds like either profound wisdom or naive recklessness. The text calls both responses day, virtue, or the power that flows from alignment with the Tao. This is not a behavioral prescription. The text is not saying be nice to everyone. What it points at is subtler. When the sage's response comes not from their own fixed categories, this person is good, that one is not, I'll treat each accordingly, but from something prior to that sorting, the encounter itself changes. The sage isn't grading, they're present. Think of someone who enters every conversation having already decided what kind of person they're talking to. They collect evidence for conclusions they already hold. Compare that to someone who hasn't decided yet, who is genuinely open to what this particular person, in this particular moment, actually is. The second mode is rare. The text suggests it isn't just a social virtue but an expression of day, genuine power that arises from not being armored. The final image is the strangest. The character Chinese letter, Zai, is the sound of drawing breath in, of contracting. The sage in the midst of the world gathers inward, blurs their own distinctions, becomes something like an open clearing. People turn their eyes and ears toward this person, and the sage regards them all as children, not childish, as children, with the openness, the care, the refusal to finalize judgment that one brings to someone who is still becoming. What a person takes from this depends on what they bring to it. If you've ever been in the presence of someone who seemed to have genuinely not made up their mind about you, not indifferent, but actually open, you know that it's unusual. Most encounters carry a subtle pressure. The other person's categories are already in place. You feel yourself being sorted. This passage asks what it would mean to be the person who hasn't sorted yet, not because you lack discernment, but because you've placed the act of sorting after the act of listening. The political reading is present in the text, the sage as a kind of ruler, but it isn't the only one. Any position of sustained influence operates this way. A parent, a teacher, anyone whose judgments about people tend to stick and shape what those people become. The chapter doesn't promise this is easy or without cost. The image of contracting inward, blending the mind, suggests something that requires effort held without rigidity. And what to do when trust is genuinely dangerous, not a philosophical edge case, but a real encounter with someone actively harmful. The text leaves unresolved. That silence may be intentional. The Tao Te Ching rarely hands you a rule to follow. It hands you a shape to think with. The sage takes the mind of the people as their own mind, not as a policy, but as an act of perpetual openness to what is actually there. The next chapter is 50.